Frankie, obviously no stranger to fight week, man. What's fight week like for you these days at this point in your career? I mean, is there still nerves, excitement, energy? What's it like for you?
I mean, there's definitely excitement. Nerves are definitely not as prevalent. I mean, fight after weigh-ins, fight day, you wake up. That's when it starts to show up a little bit.
Yeah, I think about all the big crowds and the big events that you've been a part of in your life. What did you think of fighting without a crowd? I mean, did it change things for you at all? I mean, I know everybody says once you get in there, it's still a fight, right? But did it change things, like a sense of energy or anything like that?
Usually my fights are somewhat entertaining a lot, and people usually get into it. They usually scream my name. I definitely miss that, but once punches are getting going, it's easier to listen to my coaches. I have really good chemistry with them, so that makes it simpler. But definitely when walking out from the back and hearing nobody, that took me back a little bit. So this time around, I'll be a little more prepared for that.
I was going to ask you, because that seems to me like it'd be the most challenging part, right? Just being sharp early. I imagine like when you walk out of the tunnel of a crowded arena, like if you weren't hyped, you're pretty hyped at that point, right? So is that the biggest challenge?
Yeah, for sure. I think, but once you're in that cage and you're stuck in there with another dude staring across from you, you get in that moment real quick.
Yeah. So the interesting part about this is everybody's talking about experience, right? I mean, you were in the UFC before this kid was even fighting professionally, but is there value in that? I mean, a fight's a fight, right? Like, you never know what's going to happen. The shot lands, but is there value to as much experience as you bring to the table?
Yeah, you can only get experience with time, and I have more of that than anybody. So, yeah, it's definitely something that I have in my back pocket, and something that I got to lean on sometimes. The savviness that the veteran has definitely comes to play.
Do you watch kids like this when they're making their way up? I mean, I don't know. I know a lot of guys don't watch a lot of fights when they're not fighting. Do you watch young up-and-coming kids and look at them as they're rising?
I watch every fight pretty much. So, if I'm I got nothing to do on Saturday night, I'm watching fights, and so I'll notice guys, as they come, maybe not paying the most attention to them, but, as he works up the ranks, you start paying attention to guys, yeah.
Did he catch your, when you watch this fight, do you remember him catching your eye, thinking like, oh, this kid's going to be somebody I have to face someday?
Yeah, I was always at a different weight class than him when he was coming up, so, sometimes it's tough to scan across 3 weight classes, but, yeah, as he started coming up, more as of recently, I noticed him, Nice.
As far as your preparation for this, prepping for 3 rounds is not something you do very often, right? Did you change anything? Did you back off a little bit to make it easier on yourself, or no?
Yeah, you just spar less rounds, that's pretty much it. You spar less rounds, but, everything else is rather the same.
You talk about kind of the evolution of the sport. Can you evolve as a fighter at this point in your career, or is it, kind of, hey, this is who I am, I got to stick to the person that I am?
I think I have evolved, and that's the reason I've been on top for so long, 14 years in this game. If you don't evolve, I would have been left behind. So, I think I am evolving all the time. I'm constantly working on getting better. My coaches don't let me stay complacent, and, if you do, you're going to get passed by.
Yeah. Both of you guys have said you feel like this is the #1 contender fight. Are you worried at all that there are any other names that could jump in front, or do you feel like this is the #1 contender fight?
Yeah, I think this is it right here. You never know. I've been in position before, and sometimes you do get passed up, and that's just the way this sport goes. But I can't really worry about the title fight. I got to worry about winning this fight, and then we'll talk about campaigning for it.
Yeah, I know you want to look forward to it, but do you have an idea who you think you'd be fighting for that title when you win this fight?
Yeah, I don't know. That's definitely a toss-up fight. I'm leaning Aljo. I think he can get the takedown.
Last thing for me, I know you still got some good years left. Is there a chance we have a little Edgar in the UFC one day? I hear you got some beasts over there in the house. Are they going to be fighting in the UFC one day?
Yeah, my middle guy, he's wrestles. He's really into it. He loves hitting pads. Well, we'll see. We'll try to keep him back for as long as we can.
How's you living in New Jersey and being next to one of the centers for the pandemic? How's that affected the training and everything?
It really hasn't affected at all. I have a kind of a small team anyway. If anything, it made it easier. I don't have to go around, go to parties, go to weddings, go to to different obligations. I kind of just go to the gym and go home. So it kind of makes my life easier. Yeah, that's what we're in the process of doing, and it starts on Saturday night. So yeah, for sure, win here, I think will get me that title shot.